Hey, we're back and we're doing a video on why the Red Bull RB19 is so dominant this season. We're going to give you a top 5 list of reasons why we feel the Red Bull is so dominant. Is it the engine? Is it aerodynamics? How is Red Bull dominating every other team in Formula 1 this season?
How did they do this, Mike?
So what's the answer?
Here's the top 5 reasons they have been dominating Formula 1. Number 5, Red Bull's anti-dive and anti-squat technology. Most cars on the Formula 1 circuit run a 15-degree anti-dive, but Red Bull runs a 45-degree anti-dive. And how do you measure this? This is measured by the 2 points of attachment to the chassis of the high-mounted forward top wishbone and the low-mounted rear top wishbone. How do these technologies help Red Bulls achieve faster speed? So let's explain. When a car dives under braking, its center of pressure moves forward, partially because the front wing becomes closer to the ground and therefore more effective. As the brakes are released, the car begins to level out and the center of pressure moves back to its original place. With this generation, the RB19, the center of pressure is traveling a lot further forward under braking because it's located further back on the car. This creates cars that lack rear stability under braking. And as the car levels out and the brakes are released, the car is reluctant to turn in, which can cause some mid-exit oversteer for the driver, which is bad for balance. So how do you limit the center of pressure from moving too much? This is where you add anti-dive to the front suspension, and it reduces the movement of the center of pressure. Also, adding anti-squat also reduces the movement of the center of pressure. Anti-squat not only brings a big improvement into consistency of the balance between the braking, entry, and mid-corner phases, it also allows you to run the car lower. Running the car lower increases underbody downforce potentially exponentially. When you see a car sparking way more than others down the straights, which a Red Bull does, you are seeing a car that has a bigger advantage with the DRS because it's going to have more downforce to release out of the car. Number 4, reliability. The reliability of the Red Bull is second to none. Over the past few years, Max Verstappen or Sergio Perez rarely have a DNF that causes them to be out of the race. So let's look at the statistics over the last 3 years of the Red Bulls. Over the last 3 years, in 2021, Sergio Perez had 2 DNFs and the same number of DNFs in 2022. Max Verstappen had 2 DNFs in 2021 and 1 DNF in 2022. Both Red Bulls have had no DNFs for the 2023. You know who also has great reliability? Our channel. So please like and subscribe. We're trying to get the subscribers up. Please like and subscribe. We're going to combine number 3 and number 2. We're going to say the drivers. So both Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez are excellent drivers. Sergio Perez has won many races this year, and he's not just a mere blocker for Max Verstappen. He is a very late breaker, which is an advantage for him, especially on street circuits, which he's big nickname now, the king of the streets. He has excellent tire management skills and a key understanding of tire behavior. Perez's success is his adaptability to different car setups and conditions. He has showcased his ability to quickly adapt his driving style to suit different car characteristics, ensuring he can extract the maximum performance from various chassis configurations. Perez's technical feedback is also vital, and he provides excellent communication back to the Red Bull team. Then there's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen has the balls and the grit. He's been aggressive ever since he began his F1 career in 2015. He's known for his relentless drive to win and his refusal to back down from challenging situations. Max can adjust and adapt quickly to cars' strengths and weaknesses. Max has been described as a machine by some, built for racing like LeBron James has been built for basketball. He doesn't have many vices. Even in team radio messages and interviews, you can see Max has the ability to read a race and adjust his driving style accordingly. It's highly impressive. Max is very involved in the car development and providing feedback to the engineers. Max has a deep understanding of vehicle dynamics and can effectively communicate the car's behavior to the engineers. This allows for precise adjustments to the car setup, tailoring to his driving style and maximizing its performance potential. Max's ability to work closely with his team in refining the car's aerodynamics, suspension, and mechanical grip all contribute to Max's success. Max's talent also for trail braking is particularly noteworthy. He's adept in carrying high entry speeds into corners while simultaneously braking late and smoothly releasing the brakes as he turns in. This technique not only allows him to maintain momentum, but also positions the car optimally for the subsequent acceleration phase. Verstappen often capitalizes on opportunities that others might consider too risky. Max has won 3 races this year so far, and Sergio Perez has won 2 races. We've given you the top 4 reasons so far why we feel Red Bull is dominant this season. We said the anti-dive and anti-squat, we said the reliability of the RB19, and we said the drivers Sergio and Max Verstappen. The number one reason why the Red Bull RB19 is dominating the Formula 1 season is DRS and the rear wing section of the RB19. DRS, the drag reduction system, was introduced in Formula 1 in 2011. This is where the upper flap and the main plate of the rear wing are open to 85 millimeters. The drag reduction system usually equates to about 15 to 20 kilometers per hour of extra speed, but with Red Bull's configuration, they're able to get between 33 and 34 kilometers per hour of extra speed. The DRS on the Red Bull is not just produced by the rear wing. They're able to get the extra power because of the configuration of their rear wing, beam wing, and car floor. We're going to go through details as we see how the Red Bull gains a more advantage over the other teams. So let's start with the rear wing. As you see in the rear wing here, where the red circles are, the Red Bull doesn't have any sharp corners at the trailing edge of the end plates. Then if we look here at the slot gap detail on the part of the rear wing that doesn't open, it's more efficient with the airflow of the rear wing of the Red Bull compared to the other cars. This is shown where the yellow arrows are on the screen. Also, if you look at the chord length of the actual flap, the little blue arrow on the screen, it's a lot smaller on the Red Bull compared to the Ferrari and the Mercedes. So the Red Bull and the Ferrari are producing more drag, which is causing them to have less speed on the racetrack. Also, let's take a look at the beam wing and the diffuser. Let's look at the beam wings run by all teams. The picture on the left is from earlier in the season, and the picture on the right is from when they ran the beam wing in Saudi Arabia. Red Bull on the RB19 run a larger, aggressive beam wing, compared especially to the Ferrari. The Ferrari's beam wing is a lot smaller. So you think Mercedes would get similar power to the Red Bull from the DRS? No, because the Mercedes has to run a larger upper rear wing. This causes more downforce and also more drag, whether the DRS is closed or open. Also, the Mercedes runs also a 2-element beam wing, where at times the Red Bull runs a 1-piece beam wing. Then you have the diffuser. The diffuser also helps with managing the airflow off of the beam wing and the rear wing. So we're going to show you here, look at the pictures here, how the airflow changes compared to when the DRS is closed and then compared to when the DRS is open. It's the design of the diffuser and also how it manages the airflow off the beam wing and the upper rear wing. It's just remarkable. Red Bull manages the downforce better than any other team. Simply, Red Bull has maximized its DRS effect and all the rear components work together more successfully than their competitors. Red Bull has been able to combine from the rear wing and all the other components at the rear of the car, all the details from the vanes, the winglets on the brake ducts, the floor edges, the beam wing, diffuser, and the underfloor configuration all work seamlessly together. Simply put, Red Bull is the best at managing the downforce. So let's talk about downforce. Downforce is measured at the square of speed. So whatever downforce and drag you have at 165 kilometers per hour, you have 4 times the amount of downforce and drag at 330 kilometers an hour. So if you simply let it happen, then you have to be able to support the aerodynamic load mechanically, leading you in the direction of having a very stiff car, right? Not with the Red Bull. With the Red Bull, the car is not stiff due to the floor edge sealing system that allows overall downforce to increase not at the square of speed, but to increase gradually. So they can run a softer suspension, which reduces them from getting into porpoising or bouncing problems. Some have referred to this managing of the downforce as the dimmer effect. As the Red Bull is good at managing the downforce increase simply, it reduces the rate at which it builds up. Think of it increasing slowly at a reduced rate, rather than just increasing all at once. Both the rear wing and beam wing are draggy. The beam wing is important as an exceptional beam wing will allow you to run a small upper rear wing, which the Red Bull does have a small upper rear wing compared to the Mercedes and the Ferrari. The beam wing is critical to the performance of the underfloor and the diffuser. A standalone rear wing gives you an advantage of about 15 kilometers per hour extra speed. But with the Red Bull combination of the rear wing, diffuser, and beam wing, they get an extra 33 to 34 kilometers per hour extra speed when the DRS is open. By Red Bull getting this correctly, the DRS advantage is not just the 15 to 20 kilometers per hour of extra speed their competitors have achieved. So Red Bull's rear wing section design is exceptional compared to the other teams. Simply put, the Red Bull has maximized the DRS effect. All the rear components work together more successfully than their competitors. Red Bull has been able to combine not just the rear wing, but all the rear components of the car that come to all the details. The vanes, the winglets on the brake ducts, the floor edges, the beam wing, diffuser, and underfloor configuration all work seamlessly together. This is the difference between them and their competitors Aston Martin, Mercedes, and Ferrari. They just got the whole rear section working a lot better than the other teams. Also, you can't think of it as just individual components. It's how you get the components to all work seamlessly together. That's why Red Bull has been referred to as having a triple DRS system, because they're getting a DRS effect not only from their upper rear wing, but they're getting it from their upper rear wing, the beam wing, the diffuser, and the underfloor. This is giving Red Bull an extra 13 to 14 kilometers per hour of extra speed when the DRS is open. So these are the top 5 reasons we feel the Red Bull RB19 is just totally dominating this Formula 1 season. It seems to be a masterpiece in engineering. I know this was a long video, really technical, but we wanted to show on the channel, we're not just showing videos about races, we're showing videos about all aspects of racing when it comes to Formula 1, IndyCar, and MotoGP. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, more racing videos coming on the channel. RedBet signing off.